De puro miedo. Que tenga una jerarquía. Buenos días, bienvenidos tardes.
Son ellos dos.
Las completas para. Okay, so one more time, welcome to San Alberto. My name is Juan Pablo. I'm the owner of Café San Alberto. What is San Alberto? San Alberto is a coffee plantation. At the moment, it's Colombia's most award-winning coffee quality and flavor. Today, we are going to share with you a coffee experience that we call the coffee baptism. What is a coffee baptism? Is you arrive with the idea of coffee A, and hopefully, after the experience, you will discover coffee B. Which one is better? It's up to you, the one or the whiskeys. Depending on your passion, your pocket, and also the moment. We are a wine lovers family. This is our family plantation since 1972. The history of the plantation is very simple. My grandfather, back in 1972, he lost one of his sons, brother of my mother, and his name was Alberto. He died in an aircraft accident, and in that trying moment, the airline paid my grandfather a compensation. And in that difficult moment, he decided to buy a farm near the family of my grandmother, and it was Buena Vista, the little town where we are. And in honor of his son Alberto, he renamed the plantation that was Alsacia, like the French region, renamed it San Alberto in honor to his son Alberto. And since then, we are still in the family hands. My father is still running the agronomical part of the business, and my brother and I, we are in charge of the marketing, the quality, and the marketing of the plantation. So now we are a small unit, but a big business that is called San Alberto State. Okay? This is full of water and flavor, so the idea that with this part of the exercise, we are going to awake your palate. Then we are going to play with the nose, that will be with these aromas, and the idea is to awake your nose sense. And then we are going to taste the different coffees, so the idea that what we taste, what we smell, we are going to put it on practice with what we taste. And we have this little coffee diary, this is for you, you can keep it. Okay. This is going to guide us through the whole experience. So let's go to page number 4, please. Page number 4, we have the Colombian map. This is a good moment to explain you why Café de Colombia is so important and unique in the world. First fact is that we only grow one of the two species of the world. One is known as Arabica and the other one is known as Robusta. Have you heard those names before? Any idea which one is better than the other?
No.
So Robusta, yes, the Arabica will be the fancy one, but it's very difficult to grow. So the Arabica will be fragile with the weather and very weak to the diseases. Very difficult to grow, but at the end of those efforts, at the end the consumers will pay better price. The other one is Robusta, that is, as its name is Robusta, will be like resistant. It's very easy to grow, but at the end the flavor and the quality is very bold, very aggressive. And against Arabica, Robusta has more caffeine. So
Robusta has more caffeine.
More caffeine than Robusta. The Robusta is more caffeine content. So 30% of the world grow Robusta, 70% grow Arabica. Arabica will be the fancy one, but Robusta will be like the cheap one to make blends with the Arabica. Under the Arabica family, we have different varieties of the Arabica. Caturra, Castillo, Geisha, Pacamara, all of them are from the Arabica family, varieties of the family. In Colombia, it's forbidden to grow the Robusta. The reason is very simple, we want to protect the reputation of Café de Colombia in the world. If we grow the two of them, you as the consumer, you just have to ask, are you going to give me Arabica Colombia or Robusta Colombia? Now you know that all of them are going to be Arabica. Okay? Second fact will be the social composition in Colombia. We are many growers, but very small size per family on average. How many? Half a million growers, families, and the size per family will be 2 hectares the average. So very small. With 2 hectares, you can make business. You will try to survive with your family and sons, work in the field. San Alberto, in our case, we are a 40 hectares plantation, not so big, but if you compare it with the average of Colombia, we are considered a medium-sized farm. Third fact will be the diversity. Colombia, we have 32 regions. north, south, east, and west. And we grow coffee in 21 or 22 of those regions. So from now on, saying just Café de Colombia is not enough. Saying just Café de Colombia is like saying, I just drank a French wine.
Okay.
And from what region? At least tell me the region. So will be, Quindío will be our region. The letters left part of the map is where we are. Quindío is the region. The little town is Buenavista. And the name of the plantation will be San Alberto. If we compare it with the wine, it will be French, France. Then you will go to the Bordeaux region. Chateau would be the little town, and Chateau Petit Margaux would be the valley. So we want to follow the wine trend. The wine industry is way ahead of us in terms of consumption, in terms of ceremony of consumption, and also in techniques. Okay? And the fourth type of Café Colombia would be the hand picking. Any clue or any guess why we only make hand picking?
Because you pick the right kind of berries.
Yes, that's one. But we have two other like structural reasons why we only make hand picking. Any guess?
I don't know.
So will be the first one will be the topography. We only grow coffee on the hills of the plantation of the mountains. So it will be very difficult to have any big machine. And the second reason will be, remember the social composition of Colombia. A lot of growers, but very small, so they don't have cash flow to invest in another. So we are smart people, and we discovered the third reason that is yours. If we make hand picking, we will get better point of brightness, better quality, better price. Brazil, for example, and Vietnam, since you want to clear your hands, Brazil, for example, they use mechanical picking. So it's very efficient in terms of cost, but they pick everything. They pick leaves, sticks, overripe, green, red. In Colombia, we just pick the red.
Okay.
Anyway, just to give you an idea, we want to use your saucers to put the powder. Anyway, in Colombia, we are on a tropical latitude. This means that we have sun, rain, every day of the year, twice a day. So when the coffee tree is stressed, it's because of the dry season. And when we have showers, the plant will distress. And the way this stress is producing the flower. So one flower is one cherry. So in Colombia, it's very nice for the tourism because we have all the year red cherries on the tree. Very difficult for us in order to manage the quality, but for the tourism it's very good because you will see everyday action. Okay? Any question about the steel with the skin of the cherry? It means that we couldn't pulp it, we couldn't peel it. The reason, maybe the cherry was so overripe that it was like yellow, so the machine couldn't pulp it. So if you peel it, try to peel it.
Hard.
It's harder.
This one is empty.
That was empty. And that happened. That's why you can look this. So this one was nice. This one is from this one. Now in the physical quality, it's very similar. So that's why the physical quality is not the unique variable for the quality. Yes, it is important, but also you have to taste it. And sorry, if you want, the most dramatical difference is these two. Nice green, low quality green. Okay? The sad news is that when
So
you,
this good become that.
this way, these two are the same, yes?
Yes.
And these two are the different picture. So the sad news also is that if you roast this quality and you ground it, you will never see how bad it was in the physical quality. That's why one of the advices of today is try to buy a whole bean coffee. Because when you buy a whole bean, you will see at least this. When you buy it ground, it's very difficult to see the physical. In taste, you will realize it, but in physical, no. That's why in Colombia, for example, the cheapest brand, they don't have whole bean. They just sell ground coffee.
But the whole bean that we have seen, they are not green.
They're roasted.
No, it's roasted,
They're
we will see it
roasted.
later. Yes.
So
The
how do
other-
you tell if it's
Because
roasted from good or bad?
Because, for example, I will show you. Let me show you like this. If we roast this, it will change of color, it will grow, but this is beaten by one of the diseases, and it's called broca. You want to see it like this? So it doesn't matter that you roast it, you will like feel of air, but you will see the defect. And this one, for example, is broken. So yeah, it's going to roast,
Okay.
but it's going to be different qualities. Okay? So 20 years ago, we export to Korea. So 20 years ago, our Korean customer called me, hey, Juan Pablo, do you have coffee? And the only concern was how nice it was, the physical aspect. Yes, I have. Okay, send it. And that was the only analysis. Right now, the coffee world has changed. And now we are talking about the aroma, the flavor, the sour, the balance, and that's what we call the specialty coffee. So now he's asking, Juan Pablo, do you have coffee? Yes. How nice it is? It is nice. Okay, Juan Pablo is sending some samples. So I send sample of this green coffee. He in Seoul, he will roast it, and he will taste it. And he will say, Juan Pablo, you send me 5 samples. I love 1, 3, and 5. Fantastic, give me price. I will sell, I will buy it. 2 and 4, I didn't like it. Because it was weak, it was very light or very sour. So now it's flavor concern against years ago that it was physical concern. Of course, the physical quality should be checked. But now it's more important what we taste instead of the physical quality. Physical quality is remaining in the market, is what we call commodity. Okay, so it's coffee that is tasting like coffee, not specialty coffee. Okay, any question about the theory? Okay, so let's go into the exercises. Page number 7. So now that we're talking about the flavors and the aroma, we have to awake our palate. So page number 7, we have it will be like a mouth draw or a tongue draw. And we have 4 flavors. The human, we have the ability to feel 4 flavors. Parentheses, because maybe as you are from Thailand, maybe the 5th one is very normal for you, that is the umami or umami. That is, maybe people believe that is the, have you taste the miso soup, the Japanese soup? They say that the plant that they use to make the miso is very close to the real umami. Umami will be like cooked beef in the center of the tongue. But for coffee, wine, whiskey, we just play, thanks God, we just play with 4. So we have, point of your tongue, you will feel the sweet. Lower side of your tongue, you will feel sour or acidity. What happened to your mouth when you taste something sour? What happened to your mouth?
Salivate.
Salivate, right? So whenever you taste something and you have salivation, it means that you have sour. Beer, wine, whiskey, olive oil, cacao. You have salivation, it means that you have sour. Bitter, what happened to with the bitter? Back of your palate, and what happened to your mouth? The opposite of salivate, dries. That would be, normally we know it as astringency. And it will be back of your palate, and it will be like in the aftertaste. When you swallow the whiskey, or the wine, or the coffee, you have a flavor that is going to remain, and normally it's a good moment to see if we have bitter or not. And salty will be lower side of your cheeks. So we have sample A, B, C, and D. We have sample A, B, C, and D. So please, let's have small sips. Try to move it and mark it. If you want to rinse your mouth with some water, go ahead. And continue with letter B, C, and D. These are actually professional exercises that we have to pass in order to become a professional taster, but today is for fun, so it's a little bit easier, less amount of shots against the professional one.
Okay.
Ready?
Alright.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start with letter D. What flavor was letter D?
Bitter.
Salty.
Oh,
I think that I'm with you.
I do
No.
I do it.
No, you were correct.
I do it this way.
Okay, so
So go reverse.
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 Just change it from. So letter D was actually salty, right?
Salty, yes.
D, yes, salty. Yes.
Okay.
Salty,
Yep, I'm right.
like
right.
seawater.
Mhm.
It's just like seawater.
Like
yeah.
seawater, okay?
Yeah.
This was made with salt table.
Okay.
Remember, we don't have salty coffee. So if you ever taste a salty coffee, call me. All right, hey Juan, we discovered a salty coffee, and you have to send me some samples to taste it. Okay, then we have the letter D.
Letter B.
C, sorry.
C. C is sour.
C is sour.
Okay, a lot of salivation. Do you like the sour for a coffee?
No, I don't like it at
No,
all.
you don't like it?
Depends.
Okay, so we'll have a nice debate at the end because Colombian coffee is very well known for the softness and the sour. And in the specialty trend, the sour is an attribute. So the people, the crazy coffee lovers, they will search for the sour. But of course, a coffee with this intensity would not be good. Sour should be in balance with the other flavors, but we must have sour. This flavor was made with citrical acid, the one of the lemon of the lime. We have other three types of sours. We have malic, tartic, and lactic. Okay, letter B.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Okay, you can feel the point of your tongue. This was made with sugar table. When we talk about a sweet coffee, we aren't talking about a lollipop in the coffee. It's very elegant, very soft. Let's make a little sip of C.
You mean C?
Oh, A.
Let's go back.
Oh, C.
Go back to C.
C. Drink a little bit of the C and then the B. You will see how the sweet stops the salivation. Okay? And letter D, A, sorry.
It's bitter.
Yeah, bitter. I don't want it.
Okay? What happened with the bitter? At the beginning, nothing happened. 1 second after, it hits you on your palate. And the aftertaste of the bitter is dry. And many of us need to drink water to clean the bitter. So this flavor was made with caffeine. It's saying that all the coffees are going to have something bitter because the caffeine is one of the responsibles for the bitter. We have other compounds that are also responsible for the bitter, but that one is going to be like the chemistry of the coffee and will be a little bit boring. But the caffeine is going to help us with the bitter. The bitter should be pleasant, but it's going to be present in all the coffees. Any question? So remember, point of your tongue sweet, lower side of your tongue salivation sour, back of your palate rice, bitter. Perfect? Go to page number 8. Okay, let me introduce you to Carolina. Carolina is going to be our barista. What is a barista? Like the sommelier of the wines. Instead of just opening the bottle as the sommelier and serving, in Carolina's hands, we have the end of the process. So she's in charge of grinding, brewing, using the correct temperature and the correct amount of water. So Carolina is going to start brewing coffee number 1 and number 2. We're going to use these two techniques that are known as chemics. So she's going to use same technique, different quality, different coffee. And at the end, she's going to use this one. And she's going to use one of these coffees. So the idea is that you understand the quality, this one, and then understand the multiple techniques of preparing your coffee. This and any of this. Okay? So Carolina, adelante. Okay, so there is a French guy named Jean Lenoir who invented the nose of the coffee and the nose of the wine. For the coffee business, he summarized the coffee world into 36 bottles. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. And he also divided those 36 bottles in different aroma families or aroma groups. Okay? So page number 8, in the upper part, you have the different aroma families over here. So I will read all of the families, and I will tell you if those families are good or bad, and what products can you find inside that family. Okay? Clear? So first family or first group, earthy. Do you think that earthy is good or bad for a coffee?
Depends.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. If it's earthy, like Elena, you can't do that.
Truffle.
Truffle.
Truffle,
Oh,
sure.
okay, but that one, yeah.
Yeah.
But that one truffle, yes, it's like in the limit.
Yeah.
So normally having an earthy coffee for Colombian coffee would be a dite.
Okay.
A The defect?
Yeah, the defect. What can we find in the earthy? Moisture or soil.
Okay.
Okay, then we have the fruity or fruits. Good for a coffee. Having fruits is good. We have to divide it into groups. Cyclical fruits, lemon, lime, mandarin, or sweet fruits, peach, apple, blackberry, strawberry. Those, very good. Then we have the herbal or vegetable. Bad for a coffee. And normally this flavor, so this aroma, sorry, comes from the farm process. If we didn't wash the honey correctly, that honey is going to decompose and it's going to smell very bad. How bad will be potato skin, raw potato skin, or cucumber? Woody is very difficult, so we will not see it today. Spicy will be good. Cinnamon, vanilla, pepper, good for a coffee. Then we have the floral, roses and jasmine, good for a coffee. Roasted, and inside the roasted family we have to divide it in two. Roasted sweet, that will be positive. Caramel, chocolate, or maple syrup, or roasted bad, that will be over roasted. Burn will be smoky. Ashtray, cooked beef. Just to give you an idea, if we roast these two coffees at the same level, let's imagine that we roasted light as the new trend that is light coffees. This coffee should taste good, and this coffee is going to taste chemical, earthy, it will be a disaster in quality. Smart brands, they buy this, but they don't want to share the real flavor of the quality, so they over roast it, and when they over roast it, they change those chemical, earthy aromas, and they change it for bitter and over roasted. So that's why for Colombians, if you ask them what is a coffee, they will tell you it's a black beverage, bitter, that with milk, sugar, and cream, you can drink it. So that's why smart brands, they use cheap quality and they burn their coffee. That's why we have to divide roasted sweet and roasted bad. Then we have the animal like will be honey and leather. Honey will be good, leather will be bad, and the worst of the set will be the chemicals. Chemicals, we have the medicine, pesticides, that these ones are going to be contaminated by the human. So when you go back home, maybe you can buy a coffee and it will taste like potato. Yes, it is a bad coffee, but it's clean against a coffee that is contaminated with chemicals. So we're going to smell 4 bottles. Choose the correct one so you can enjoy the exercise. Let's see the numbers. So let's start right here. Let's start right here. So before you start, I'm going to wrap a bottle just for an example. So the idea is you have the number of the bottle on the lid and in one side of the bottle. In any order, you will mark it over the draw. So for example, number 28, I will write bottle 28. This is just an example. You will open it, and you will smell from left to right. The reason, one of our holes is more sensitive than the other. And the first guess, from what family it is. So let's make an example, number 28, I smell it. I will say that this one smells like fruit. So I will write under the group, fruit.
Okay.
Second guess, what fruit? I will say that this one is banana. So I will write under product, banana. So we have 4 bottles. And then that you start with these 2, you those, and then you switch.
Left to right?
Yes? The good news is that all the humans, we have the ability to smell. That's the good news. The bad news is that we don't have our olfactory memory developed. We have to train the olfactory. Years ago, it was good education to smell the fruit. From some moment to another, our grandmothers and mothers, they started saying, hey, don't smell. So we are not exercising our olfactory memory. It's more important what we smell than what we taste. In your mouth, we smell 4 flavors. In our nose, we can identify millions of aromas.
I can't.
Try to think it. If you are a little bit lost, at least try to smell it and say, do I like this for a coffee? Yes or no. That would be a good challenge. And then at the end, we will re-smell it. After I open the aromas, I will tell you, and then that you re-smell it to exercise your memory.
flavor.
I'll give you some extra bonus. We'll add some bottles.
That's what I said. So, like
bottle
this
are-
one, caramel
Okay,
or
so
chocolate,
okay,
what-
sorry, with my finger is
Yeah.
this one is over here.
roasted.
Yes, good, roasted good. It will be the sweet ones, and you are correct.
The product is caramel.
So roasted will be the family, and caramel will be the product. Okay. Now Carolina, she's going to start brewing coffee number 3, and she will use what we call the vacuum cycle. So with these two, she used gravity with the kettle. With this one, she's going to use the vacuum. Normally the vacuum is going to pull out more flavors than gravity, but less flavors than the pressure. Pressure is the espresso machine. Listo. Okay, ready with the 4 bottles? Or one more minute?
One
missing
more.
one.
Okay. So numbers were 2, 16, 25, 35. What we smell is what we taste. So if we smell something nice, we have like 99.9 chances that that product is going to taste good. Accept? Yes? Yep. Okay, so I will tell you what flavor, what aroma it is. So if you want to smell it, it will be a very good exercise. So bottle number 2, for you, good or bad? Number 2.
Bad.
Bad. Any idea of what family?
It's kind of woody.
I think earthy.
Earthy?
Yeah, kind of earthy.
Okay. So
Stale.
Yeah.
smell it. You are close because it's from the herbal vegetable that is very close to the earthy. But that one is from the herbal vegetable and will be potato skin.
Oh,
May
yeah,
I
that's
say,
right.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, smell like potato
If
skin.
you want to smell it, this one?
I got woody and potato.
Yeah, potato.
Yeah,
So
potato.
you wrote woody will gonna be the family, but potato will be the product.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we have a very bad aroma. We don't like coffees with potato aroma.
Oh,
no.
Okay? It will be a real decomposed coffee.
Yeah.
Then we go to bottle number 16. Because this is
16.
the lid, bottle number 2.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, good or bad? Number 16.
Good, pretty good.
Any idea of the family?
Fruity.
Yes. Citrical or sweet? For you?
I got passion fruit.
Oh, you're very poetic.
Exotic.
Lychee. But you're correct, so both are correct. It's fruit, it's a sweet one, and it's actually peach.
Peach.
I don't, in my personal memory, I have a candy that is this bottle for me. That is the Jolly Rancher, the peach flavor. Whenever I smell that bottle, it's, oh, Jolly Rancher. Okay? So that's olfactory memory. Each one with its own crazy olfactory memory. So people is going to smell number 2 and it will be kitchen or whatever. Remember that we have citrical fruit that will be like the lemon or the lime. Bottle number 25.
Roasted.
Roasted. Okay? Roasted good or roasted bad?
Good.
Good.
Okay? And it will be caramel.
Yeah.
Okay? So inside that family we have chocolate, maple syrup, okay. So all of them
Yeah,
the sweet
maple
ones.
syrup.
Okay? Maple syrup will be a little bit more spicy than that one, but it's sweet. Okay? And the last bottle will be number 35. Yeah, basically.
I think it's bad.
Okay, bad, yes.
Bad for me.
Smells like chemical.
Yes,
Okay, yes.
I put chemical too.
So that one is the worst of the set. That one is from the chemical family. And the product, any idea of the product?
Some sort of cleaner.
Okay. Yes, this morning I was also telling this, and some of them were saying that bleach. So Carolina is serving coffee number 1 and 2. Please don't drink it yet.
Okay.
Okay? So actually, according to him, to Jean Lenoir, it will be medicine the product.
Okay.
Okay, but bleach or any cleaner will be correct. So we don't want coffee with this at all. So remember, we have some of them are good, some of them are bad. So the good ones are going to be fruit, roasted sweet, floral, and spices. and roasted sweet. And the bad ones will be earthy, the vegetables, they were roasted, and the candy. So let's go to page number 10. Page number 10, we have how we evaluate the coffee in a professional way. We score them from 1 to 10, being 10 the coffee of God. But we don't have coffees of 100 points, and that's a difference from the wine industry. We don't have 100 points coffees. We have coffees over 86 are already super coffees. Coffees for crazy coffee lovers. Coffees under 86 are going to be like commercial coffees, and coffees like under 70 something will be commodities. San Alberto in our case, the international tasters, they say that Café San Alberto we have a score around 88, 89, and it's already a super coffee. So we have the different attributes that we evaluate. We evaluate the aroma, the fragrance, the acidity, the flavor, the mouth sensation of the body, the aftertaste, and the balance. And we score them. My invitation, that is up to you if you want to accept it, is let's don't play with the numbers today. Let's go to page number 11 and divide it in 3. Coffee number 1, coffee number 2, and coffee number 3, and let's play with the words. And maybe, as you are beginning, maybe it's going to be a little bit easier for you. Okay? Okay, so remember, page number 11 divided coffee number 1, coffee number 2, coffee number 3. And we are going to start evaluating coffee number 1 and coffee number 2, Nicolas, also, so you can join us. So we are going to smell the coffees, and we are going to evaluate the coffees just with the nose. And before we taste it, we are going to say which one is going to taste better than the other. So let's go with coffee number 1, and remember the bottles. You want to move it a little bit like the wine, go ahead. And remember the bottle. We can feel maybe fruit, maybe sweet, maybe vegetable, maybe earthy, maybe over roasted. Do I like it or don't drink it yet? Don't worry.
You need coffee.
And write some comments on page number 11. And then continue with coffee number. Are you a tea lover?
Yes.
Yes. So maybe you are going to like some of the coffees. Because some people believe that specialty coffees doesn't taste like coffee, it tastes more like a tea.
It's like potato.
Okay? So let's return to coffee number 1 and let's share some of the ideas. Coffee number 1. What aromas can we feel?
Rubber.
Rubber, okay, so rubber will be like a chemical, so that one would be very bad for you. What else?
It's kind of over roasted.
Okay, so smoky. And producer?
I got earthy.
Okay,
Oh,
yes,
wrong.
perfect, can be. Okay. And coffee number 2?
It's like potato.
Potato. Maybe fruit.
I got fruity.
Fresher.
Like cherry for me.
Yes.
Oh,
Like
it's like
Plum.
some sweet maybe. We don't feel the same roasted notes of number 1. This one is like cleaner maybe or fresher.
Cleaner.
really? I don't like this one at all. It tastes like tomato, potato.
So I will hope
Now I can smell a little bit of chemical.
number 1.
Oh, the
But
number
more
2.
earthy.
So number 1, just to give you a little bit of help. Number 1 for me, it smells like over roasted,
Okay.
smoky, a little bit earthy, heavy,
Yeah.
and aggressive. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe I can agree with both of you, rubber and maybe the chemical. Maybe we can feel it. Coffee number 2, fruit and sweet.
Oh, how come
And less intense than number 1. Okay? So,
Cleaner.
before we taste it, for you, which one is going to be better, number 1 or number 2? Remember that in this exercise, we don't have correct answers at that. Like the one of the, depends on your passion also and your palate. So it's just descriptions. So who is with coffee number 1?
If I have to choose,
Yes.
I choose one,
Perfect.
but I don't like any.
Okay. And for you?
I'm probably one.
Okay.
Something
For you,
like
Nicolas?
two.
Number 2. Okay. So now let's go with the flavors. So we're going to taste it. And remember the 3 flavors. Sweet, bitter, and sour. So taste it.
Taste number 1.
Mhm.
Bitter.
Bitter.
Bitter, heavy,
Heavy.
and the aftertaste, if you move your tongue, is dry. Okay? And we need water to clean a little bit the. Okay. And now let's go with coffee number 2.
Sour.
Sour, a lot of sour, very light,
Like
Light.
sour.
a lot of fruit,
Yeah.
and very soft.
Smooth.
Yeah, very soft, very like weak, a bit light. Okay, so let's return. We were talking about number 1 in aroma. It was like earthy, like over roasted, heavy, and on flavor, it was bitter and aggressive. So number 1 for normal coffee is not good. Number 2 in aroma, it was light, fruit, a little bit sweet, and on flavor, if you taste it, it will be light, a lot of salivation. Okay, so coffee number 1 is a very popular Colombian brand. I believe that it's like the leader of the market, and it was made with this coffee.
Pues sencilla rum.
I normally don't say the brand for respect, but
Yeah.
you are close, Nicolas. You are close. It's very popular for Colombians. It's coffee. It's black. It's hot, and we have caffeine. But we need cream, sugar, milk, and a glass of water to drink it. So you can see this is low quality.
Okay.
Number 2 was made with this quality. And this coffee is from San Alberto, our plantation, and with this coffee we have been winning international prizes. But I agree with all of you. Number 2 is better than number 1, but it's missing something. Yes, it's lighter, cleaner, but it's missing something. The reason, Carolina used the Chemex method. The Chemex is the name of the method. And the Chemex will be like extra filter.
How do you pronounce
Like
it?
this, you can go to page 16. You have the Chemex. Over here will be this.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So the magic of the Chemex is the thickness of the paper. It's like 20% thicker than the Melita one. It's going to extra filter the coffee. So Carolina, she helped us and she brew coffee number 3. And she used the vacuum siphon. And it's the same coffee of number 2. So these 2 coffees are the same quality, same bag, same amount of water and coffee, just different technique. So let's taste it, smell it. It's more aromatical than number 2. It means that the technique is going to affect the aroma. And if we taste it,
Like good coffee.
so it's a more complete coffee. Still soft. Colombia is very soft coffee, but it's a more complete, more structured. We lose sour, we have more sweetness, and we have a little bit more body. Okay? If you want to return a little bit, let's taste a little bit of number 2 again. And now you will feel like water. It was the same coffee, or it is the same coffee, just different technique. So drinking a Chemex after a espresso or a more intense coffee would be like drinking white wine after a Cabernet Sauvignon or a Malbec. So the quality is important, number 1 against number 2. And now, number 2 and number 3, the way you brew it is also important. All of them are good methods, but you have to search and investigate which one is going to be your personal preference. My fathers, for example, they love the Chemex because they say that it's very light, that they can drink 2 or 3 cups and they will be very friendly. Others prefer this one. But my answer will be, it depends on the moment. If you go to a restaurant and you eat a lot of spices and you drink Chemex, the flavor of the coffee is so soft that you will not feel it. So maybe you have to eat something hot, something spicy. You need the siphon or maybe espresso. That will be more complete. Okay?
So how about the level of caffeine?
Very good question. The level of caffeine is going to be, the caffeine is hydrosoluble. It means the longer the coffee is in contact with the water, the more caffeine you will extract. Espresso, 20 seconds. So the espresso is not the most caffeine intense.
I will stop taking espresso.
So if you want something with a lot of caffeine, you have to drink the, si me alcanza Carolina por la prensa, pues,
French press?
yes. Because that one you will have to wait around 4 minutes or 5.
Okay.
Or maybe this one, the Chemex. It's the paper is so thick
Yeah.
that you have to wait some more minutes. This one is the French press. Okay. So let's go to page number 15 before we talk about the different methods. Se lo damos solo sin el nombre, ¿será? ¿Solo el nombre, será?
May I ask you what's your last name? How is it
We have a little surprise for you, but we need your complete name. So you help us. Papelito,
Right, like family name.
I drink coffee just because of the caffeine.
Okay. So you need the caffeine boost.
So
yeah.
I always order espresso because I can drink like medicine. Done.
I like this.
แล้วเราชื่อเอิญเราไม่ต้องร้องไห้
But now you know that the espresso is a lot of flavor,
Yeah.
but not caffeine.
But then I have to enjoy drinking
Okay.
the more
Yes,
quantity.
a lot of sips. Not like a tequila. For example, my brother, he's not a super fan of coffees.
It's okay.
And because he was saying that when he drinks this type of filtered coffees, the caffeine was affecting him. But he discovered that with espresso, he can taste it and his body is not suffering the boost. But for normal consumers, they believe that the espresso, because of the powerful
Yeah,
flavor,
okay.
it was the same of caffeine and not having. Okay, but page number 15, we have some advices when you go back home and you want to continue drinking this coffee. First is the amount of coffee against water. So the normal recommendation would be 7 to 9 grams per 100 milliliters of water. In normal language would be 1 soup spoon
Okay.
per 1 cup, a little bit bigger than this. Not the move,
Soup spoon, you said.
the big one. And we realized
Tablespoon.
that there was a normal question for the consumers. So we decided to. So this is the same amount of a soup spoon. It will be like 12 grams.
That's how many ounces?
No, that was a difficult one. I don't know that.
So you think it's,
Next visit, Nicolas.
As a tour guide, it's like changing units. It's so
Yeah.
complicated all the time.
I know that the back is 12 ounces. I know the spoon. You said the question. That will be a homework for me.
100 milliliters, you said.
Yes, this one is a little bit less than 100. So normally what we talk is, you see the cappuccino cups, that one will be like the 200 milliliters. So 1 soup spoon per 100 for the 1 soup spoon per cup of that one. It will be like 80 milliliters. Okay. Second advice: be careful with the water. 98% of a coffee is water, so we have to be careful of the water we have. Maybe when you go to the bathroom, you will see a very robust filtration system because we have to be careful about the water. Third advice: try to buy whole bean coffee. We already talked about one of the reasons, the physical appearance, but we have 2 other reasons. First one, the freshness. When we have the coffee whole bean, we have less surface exposed to the oxygen, better conservation. And the third reason will be, according to the method, that's one, again, the chemists, you will need a different grind particle. Espresso very fine, coffee press coarse. If you buy already ground, you will need just one method. Coffee lovers like us, we have a grinder, and we buy whole bean, and we adjust the grind size in order to brew it correctly. Just to give you an idea, in San Alberto, in the shops, we only work whole bean coffee, and we have a grinder in order to ask you what type of grind size do you want, and we will receive it. That way, we can assure freshness, and also if you want to smell it, so we can assure quality, freshness, and also the correct preparation for it. And the last advice will be, if you saw Carolina, she didn't use any electricity. It means that you brew it, you drink it. You want more coffee, you brew it, you drink it. So we are far away from the trend of having a reheater. So many people suffer the stomach with the coffee, and it's not because of the coffee, it's because they are reheating the coffee. And the coffee has a lot of acidities, and those acidities are going to start damaging, and that's going to affect the acidity of your stomach. In Colombia, the popular normal person will drink this quality, and in the offices they will have a big coffee machine like this, and they will reheat it all day. So the coffee is going to taste awful, and inside their body, they're going to suffer. Not because of the quality of the coffee, it's more because of the freshness of the beverage. Okay? And page 16, we already explained it, but we will summarize it very fast. We have 4 ways of brewing coffee. We have the gravity, that was with the Carolina brewed with the chemics. It's just pouring pouring the water through the gravity. We have the vacuum, siphon vacuum. We pull it through the vacuum force. We have the pressure, the one of the espresso machine. And I don't know if you know the other one that is like, we call it the Italian or the mocha. That will be over the stuff.
The mocha pot.
Yeah, it's called the mocha pot. Yeah, it's like you over the stop. It will be like boiling water.
Over the stove, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it will be like a mini espresso, because we are going to use boiling water, and in one moment that boiling water goes up through a pipe, it passes through the coffee, and it's finished in the upper part. In the siphon, the water goes up and then goes down, and in that moment we pull it. Pressure is pushing, vacuum is pulling.
Okay.
And we have the last one, that is this one. That is the coffee press, that will be through infusion.
Okay.
Infusion is the closest way as we taste it in the lab. Because when we are in the coffee lab, we don't use paper or cloth filter. We just use a cup, we add the coffee, we add the water, we wait 4 minutes, we clean it with a spoon, and we sip it. Very similar to this. 4 minutes, instead of cleaning with the spoon, we just push the plunge and we drink. But all the oils of this one are going to arrive to the cup. Again, number 2, many of the oils were trapped in the paper filter. So it's up to you, it's up to your palate. All of them are good methods. Each one is going to highlight a different way of the coffee.
Just one thing, because I always have the doubt myself. 12 grams is 0.4, like 0.4 ounces.
Okay, 0.4.
Yeah.
You need a chart. Okay, any question?
No.
Okay,
Thank
so you
for
passed
that
the
Oh,
exam?
that's
Yes?
cold brew.
Yes, cold brew. ¿Lo traemos papá, Carolina, el cold brew? So cold brew will be brewing coffee without hot water. So as we don't have hot water, we don't have enough strength to extract. So we have to compensate the absence of hot water with a long period of extraction. So this one,
So lots of caffeine. Yes.
yeah, so that one can be an idea for you.
Yeah, okay.
And it's you can taste it. We have downstairs we have, so I will send you some. You can taste it. So we put the water here, cold water. We have the coffee over here, and we play with the speed of the water. So normally this one takes like 10 hours, drop by drop,
So cold water.
cold water. So the cold water is going to extract.
Cold, like cold or room temperature.
The idea will be cold.
Cold,
But normally
refrigerator.
we start with the cold water. We add some ice,
Ah.
and it will take 10 hours. So the water will be like room temperature.
So why cold?
Because the cold water extracts different oils and compounds against the hot water. The hot water extracts some oils that are going to damage very fast. That's why we don't want to reheat the coffee.
Ah.
The cold coffee, we can keep it. We can store the cold coffee. Because we didn't extract some of the oils that are very fragile.
So it's better quality.
Depends. Cold coffee will not extract the acidity, for example. So if you don't want the acidity, you don't like acidity, this one is the one. For the people who suffer the stomach problem with the acidity also, that one. But this one is super content in caffeine, 10 hours. So it's going to be like a Red Bull for some. And the new trend is the cold coffees. Because it's fresher, different way of enjoying. Many people is even drinking this in a tap. And they are using nitrogen, like the Guinness beer, in order to generate the cream. So like the different. So there are millions of techniques, but all of them are going to highlight different ones. Okay? Any question? Any other question? If you see the other, Carolina, señale la otra olla, la atrás. That one? That one is, so we just saw cold drip, through the drip. The other one is like a big coffee press, cold water also. So it's a very different. It's a smooth difference in terms of flavor. The big one is called cold brew. That will be immersion, and the other one is going to be cold drip. In Asia, Japanese use cold drip, and in America, they are using cold brew. But the difference in terms of flavor and caffeine is very smooth, not so high. In my opinion, the cold brew is a little bit sweeter than the cold drip that is going to be a little bit more gooey. But both of them are cold coffees. Okay? So let's make a toast for you. Welcome again to Colombia. You want more coffee? We have some more.
Oh, that's okay. I have.
Enough for the toast.
Let's take a picture.
Okay. So salud.
Cheers.
Welcome again to Colombia. So you have to visit us often.
Yes.
Okay?
Not every 30 years.
I believe that 30 years ago, Bogota was way different. Now we are more metropolis, more nice places, the roads were improving, and hopefully 30 years after, you will see a very different city.
I will come with a walker.
No, salud. We have a surprise that the teacher is going to pass all of you, but we need to make a deal. 3 deals actually. The first one is please share this knowledge with your family and friends. Behind Colombian coffee, there are millions of people. Literally around 4 or 5 million Colombians live directly from the coffee business. We have at least 2 to 2.5 millions grow coffee. Because we have 500,000 families, and normally the family will be 4 persons, will be 500,000 times 4 gives you around 2 million. And the other part of the chain will be the roaster, the baristas, the coffee shops, so we are going to be up to 4 million around. So it's very important for the Colombians, the coffee, in the social part, in the economical part also. Second one, please try to drink just Café de Colombia. Can be San Alberto or any other, just try to search for information. You already know that from Colombia we have 500,000 families, 21 regions, so saying just Café de Colombia is not enough. Ask for more information, ask for traceability. From where? From Buenavista, Quindío. Buenavista the town, Quindío the region. From what farm? San Alberto. What Arabica varieties? Caturra and Castillo. And the date of roast is 1st of February. This is very fresh. This is part of the magic also for the specialty coffees. And the third and last deal will be, as Colombian coffee ambassadors, you will never drink coffee number 1. It doesn't matter that if your friend invites you and give you coffee number 1, you say, I'm already a Colombian ambassador. Please change the coffee. In that way, next 30 years, when you come back, you will see that that restaurant is already working with nice coffees.
So you said 500,000 families and 21
Regions.
regions.
That's a lot of people.
Some people believe that the diversity in Colombia is the same diversity that you can find in all Central America. So we are lucky with all the diversity. Okay? And even for the tourism, you can have a car in 2 hours, you are like in 35 Celsius degrees. So that's part of the magic of Colombia and the tropical latitude. Okay, so the certificate is written in Spanish and it's saying the master taster of Café San Alberto certified that earned un prom assist to a coffee baptism where she awakens her senses and thanks to the knowledge from now on she's a Colombian coffee ambassador. The most important part earned will be from now on she will only enjoy high quality coffee and she will help to spread the coffee culture. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Moon. Congratulations.
Yes.
And Nicolas, congratulations again.
Thanks a lot.
If you want a picture, we can take it. Any picture you want.
Sure. Both of
If you
us.
want, I can.
Perfect. Go.
Oh, with you. Let
Yes.
me take it.
First you, and then I will join you. Please, you too.
Okay.
And
Just
then I
a
will join
question:
you.
what proportion of Arabica and from Arabica, from Castillo and Caturra do you like mix? in the-
With 80% it will be Caturra and 20% will be Castillo. One more. Will you tell me one more? Okay.
with you.
Perfect, with the teacher.
With the honor.
Go for that picture. In the middle. Okay. Yep. Coffee. Okay, thank you, Nicolás.
Thank you.
So the apron are for you. Carolina nos estaba solicitando una bolsita de papel o dos. So you can keep the apron and the brochure. She's going to bring some paper bags so you can put it on inside.
Okay.